Okay, so we studied about the evidence that suggests that early humans migrated from Africa to populate Earth. So this is a big geography approach to explaining the peopling of Earth. So they came out of Africa, went into this climate, and then this one, and this one. Okay, but that doesn't explain how or why they did it. That's really what we have to look at when we look at the evidence that's left to answer those questions. Why did they do it? How did they do it? Right? Why they did it probably has a lot to do with food supply. Perhaps it has a lot to do with climate change as well. But there is evidence that tells us that they survived in colder climates. So how did they do it? How do they survive in colder climates? Things had to be done first. They had to develop new technologies, and the big one here is fire. Okay? Fire, fire, fire. Fire is one of those things that's a game changer. It protects, it warms, it cooks food, and it starts digestion. It starts breaking down food. They often relate it to, the external stomach, right? So that's a game changer. We can get more calories from the food we eat by cooking it first. Another major game changer is stone tools. Okay, the use of stone tools by Homo habilis over here is very significant. Now we have a rock. Now we have something that's stronger than a stick, more useful and shapeable into many things. We can use it to break open bones and eat out the marrow. We can use it to make other tools. We can refine our tool making process and make specialized tools such as cutting tools, axes. Um, we can make weapons to protect ourselves. Okay, that's a big deal that Homo erectus, Homo habilis, right, is often credited. Oops, fix that. Um, Another thing that we have to talk about is some of the things that happened as a result of the environment changing, new technologies, the DNA evidence that tells us about how humans have evolved into new species and subspecies, whether it's Homo sapiens sapien or Homo sapiens neanderthalis, for example. Um, that journey leaves behind evidence that helps us understand how things like agriculture and animal husbandry, which we talk about in the next video, how those things developed. And keeping with our fire theme here, let's look at burn and stick farming. Now, in Fleeting World, David Christian talks about burn and stick farming. Now, what happened was they realized that when they would burn an area of heavy brush and trees, when they came back, that burnt area would be growing grasses, and the kinds of animals they were hunting would be grazing those grasses. So it was kind of easy pickings for them at that point. This drastically not only changed the flora landscape, the plants, but also the fauna, the animals. So this was kind of a big deal in terms of the impact of early humans on the environment. It's also important in terms of the discoveries that they made based on using these tools to alter the environment to get what they needed. We'll talk more about that in the next video on the development of agriculture. Bye-bye.